Hey, what's up everybody? It's your old pal Troy. Today we're diving into a place that's going to make you want to book a flight ASAP, Switzerland. This tiny country is a treasure chest of jaw-dropping stories, landscapes, and secrets you've probably never heard of. You ready? This video will take you through Switzerland's mountains, lakes, chocolate, and more. We've got 3 chapters. First, Switzerland's natural wonders. Second, its culture and history. And third, its modern life and those legendary Made in Switzerland vibes. Buckle up, let's roll. When you think of Switzerland, what pops into your head? Snow-capped mountains, crystal lakes, and scenery so perfect it could be a screensaver? Bingo. Switzerland's natural beauty is like Mother Nature flexing her muscles, showing off her A-game. This country's only 41,000 square kilometers, smaller than some US states. But it's somehow crammed with the world's most stunning landscapes. Is that even fair? First time I landed in Switzerland, I stepped off the plane, looked up at those Alps, and boom, it was like God had painted a masterpiece and forgot to sign it. Let's start with the Alps. These aren't just any mountains. They're Europe's backbone, stretching across several countries. But in Switzerland, oh, they're next level. Switzerland's got 48 peaks over 4,000 meters tall. The star of the show, the Matterhorn. This mountain's got attitude, sharp, pointy, like a pyramid carved by giants. Standing at its base, you feel like an ant staring up at a skyscraper. The Matterhorn inspired the logo for Toblerone, that triangle-shaped chocolate you munch on. Next time you grab one, check the wrapper, see the resemblance? I visited this little town near the Matterhorn called Zermatt, car-free, super eco-friendly, so you're either walking or hopping on electric carts. Me, this city slicker from the US, lugging a huge backpack, was huffing and puffing after 10 minutes. Meanwhile, this Swiss grandpa with a walking stick zooms past me like he's in a marathon. I'm thinking, what's this guy eating? Turns out Swiss folks grow up scampering around mountains like it's no big deal. I climbed for half an hour, legs wobbling, and when I looked up, that grandpa was chilling at the summit, sipping coffee. Beyond the mountains, Switzerland's lakes are straight up magical. Lake Geneva, Lake Lucerne, Lake Zurich. They're like sapphires nestled between peaks. Lake Geneva's a standout. There's this town called Montreux on its shore. Ring a bell? If you're a music buff, you've heard of Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Yep, that rock anthem was born here. Back in 1971, the band was in Montreux when a casino caught fire, sending smoke over the lake. The lead singer saw it, got inspired, and bam, classic song. So Lake Geneva's not just gorgeous, it's got some serious rock and roll cred. Picture this. You're standing by the lake, snow-capped mountains in the distance, water so clear you can see the bottom, a swan gliding by, and a cozy cafe nearby wafting coffee aromas. It's so perfect. Even the air feels like it's been polished. But a heads up, Switzerland's prices aren't so dreamy. I grabbed a coffee by the lake. 20 Swiss francs, that's like 22 bucks. I sipped it so slowly, savoring every drop, because each one felt like $1. Switzerland's natural beauty is like a gallery of postcard-perfect scenes. Mountains, lakes, forests. Every view makes you gasp, and they keep it pristine. The air's so clean, it's like it came straight from a fridge. All right, that's chapter 1. Up next, we're diving into Switzerland's culture and history to see how this tiny nation became a global superstar. Now that we've covered Switzerland's stunning landscapes, let's talk about its culture and history. On the surface, Switzerland's like that quiet kid in class who doesn't say much, but dig into its story, and whoa, it's like a blockbuster movie. How does a country of just 8 million people hold its own on the world stage? Let's unpack the stubborn, clever spirit that makes Switzerland tick. Switzerland's story kicks off way back in the 13th century. Europe was a mess, wars, feuds, you name it. But the Swiss? They weren't having it. In 1291, 3 tiny regions, Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden, signed a pact to team up and fend off invaders. That was the seed of the Swiss Confederation. Ever wonder where Switzerland comes from? It's from Schwyz, one of those regions. The name Switzerland basically means land of the Schwyz people. Pretty cool, right? The Swiss are stubborn as heck, and their favorite hero proves it, William Tell. Legend says this guy refused to bow to an Austrian governor's hat. Yeah, a hat. So they made him shoot an apple off his son's head with a crossbow. Guess what? He nailed it, and took out the governor later. Sounds like something out of a Hollywood action flick, doesn't it? Historians say the story's probably spiced up, but that defiant Swiss spirit, 100% real. Let's talk culture. Switzerland's small, but it's a linguistic circus. They've got 4 official languages: German, French, Italian, and Romansh. Walk through Zurich, you hear German, hit Geneva, it's French, swing by Lugano, and it's Italian. Romansh is the rarest, spoken by less than 1% of the population, mostly in remote Alpine villages. It sounds like a mix of Latin and Italian, super ancient. Swiss people are language wizards. Many speak 3 or 4 fluently. I met a Swiss guy who flipped between German, French, English, and Italian faster than I can switch Netflix shows. Swiss culture's got this slow and steady vibe. They take their time with everything, eating, walking, even their trains move at a leisurely pace, but they're punctual to the second. I took a train from Zurich to Lucerne once, and it was so smooth, with views like a movie. I thought I was in The Lord of the Rings. Meanwhile, the Swiss guy next to me was calmly munching a sandwich, sipping coffee, looking like he was chilling in his living room. I'm like, dude, how's your life this relaxed? Switzerland's real secret weapon? Neutrality. For centuries, they've stayed out of wars. In 1815, the Congress of Vienna made Switzerland's neutrality official, and it's been their golden ticket ever since. Switzerland's smack in the middle of Europe, surrounded by heavyweights like France, Germany, and Italy, all itching to take a bite. So, the Swiss played it smart. Don't pick fights, focus on business. Genius. During World War II, while Europe was chaos, Switzerland stayed chill, becoming a hub for groups like the Red Cross and the UN's European headquarters in Geneva. Switzerland's culture and history boil down to this: small country, massive brainpower. They've used grit and smarts to carve out a spot in a crazy world, and they're living pretty darn well. That's chapter 2. Next, we're diving into modern Switzerland to see how they've turned precision into an art form. All right, final chapter. Let's talk about Switzerland's modern life. Mention Switzerland, and you probably think watches, chocolate, banks, yep, all iconic, made in Switzerland stuff. But there's so much more. The Swiss have mastered the art of living with style, and their precision seeps into everything. Let's see how they make life look like a masterpiece. First, Switzerland's economy. Prices here are wild. I grabbed a burger in Zurich, 35 Swiss francs, that's like 38 bucks. I ate it so carefully, like I was dining at a Michelin star restaurant, because I didn't want to waste a cent. But here's the thing, Swiss salaries are sky high too. A regular waiter can pull in $4,000, $5,000 a month. So yeah, stuff's expensive, but their quality of life is off the charts. Switzerland's per capita GDP is always in the global top 5, around $92,000 in 2024, about 1.3 times the US's. Translation? They're loaded. I was strolling through Bern, Switzerland's capital, and popped into a watch shop. The clerk, all suited up, gave me this super polished smile. I peeked at the watches. Cheapest one? $5,000. I'm like, is this thing made of gold, or does it tell the future? The clerk explained it's not just the materials, it's the craftsmanship. Brands like Patek Philippe and Rolex handcraft every piece, precise to the millisecond. Swiss watches dominate 90% of the global luxury market. Geneva alone exports millions of watches a year, raking in enough cash to buy a small country. Swiss lifestyle? It's all about balance. They're eco-warriors. 70% of their trash is recycled, with separate bins for plastic, glass, paper, you name it. First time I tried throwing out trash in Switzerland, I stood there for 5 minutes, staring at 6 bins like I was taking the Sats. And they're obsessed with the outdoors. Summers for biking, winters for skiing, and weekends are for hiking. Swiss kids are like mini superheroes. 4 years old, tiny backpacks, off they go on mountain trails. Switzerland's also an innovation beast. Tiny population, but they crank out patents like nobody's business. Ever heard of Nestlé? Biggest food company in the world, invented instant coffee and baby formula, headquartered in Switzerland. Then there's pharma giants like Novartis and Roche. Key patents for COVID vaccines came from Swiss labs. Switzerland spends over 3% of its GDP on research, and top schools like ETH Zurich have produced 21 Nobel Prize winners, including Einstein. This little country's got a big brain. Let's talk daily life. Swiss cities, Zurich, Geneva, Bern, are so clean, you'd think they mop the streets daily. At night, wandering through Old Town, you're on cobblestone streets, passing medieval buildings, soft streetlights glowing, church bells ringing faintly. A cozy pub spills out laughter and clinking glasses. it hits you. This is what life's supposed to feel like. I stayed in Bern for a few days, waking up to Alpine views, sipping coffee, feeling like I'd finally figured out how to live. Modern Switzerland in a nutshell? Precise, stylish, and yeah, a bit pricey. But you gotta hand it to them. They do everything to perfection, from crafting watches to running their lives. Switzerland's like a flawless watch, sleek, elegant, and built to last. And that's a wrap on our Swiss adventure. From epic mountains to modern marvels, hope it was worth your time. Switzerland's small, but packed with stories. If you get the chance, go see it for yourself and live that fancy life for a bit. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It's Troy. See you next time.